In an effort to combat the major leaks that plagued Season 7 of the Game of Thrones, HBO will be filming multiple endings so that the holy grail of the story, the ending of a Game of Thrones in Season 8, doesn't get spoiled. If you like to get hype and enjoy Game of Thrones videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my upcoming videos. There has been a ton of news lately in the Game of Thrones universe, including that Brian Cogman, one of the writers on Game of Thrones already, will be working with George R.R. Martin on developing the 5th spin-off for Game of Thrones, and also the news that Emilia Clarke will be dyeing her natural hair as opposed to wearing her famous wig in Season 8. Now, this news has some implication, but the news I want to focus on is, of course, the news that Game of Thrones will be filming multiple endings for Game of Thrones Season 8. I believe that this is not only a great move, but this is extremely important to keep the ending of the story healthy and intact for the people that do not want the ending of the story, the holy grail of a Game of Thrones, ruined because of hackers or content creators on YouTube. I think it would be fun, since this is my first video I've done in a while, to do some theory crafting as to what the multiple endings will be. So let's take a look at some of the theories I have on how the series may end. Scenario number 1. I believe at some point in Season 8, it will seem as if the battle is lost, and although they thought they found a solution in killing the Night King with Valyrian Steelblade or Dragonglass, that ultimately will fail. We have to remember that the Night King is unique, and I believe he created the other White Walker, so defeating him with the same element that he has in his heart will not work. I believe this is the most plausible scenario and the bittersweet ending that George is talking about, and this is that Jon Snow, aka Aegon Targaryen, will have to stab Daenerys in the heart with his blade, which I believe will be done to create Lightbringer. Daenerys has lit 2 fires already, and I believe she will light a 3rd for love when she offers her breast to Jon to save the realm. Now, here's the important thing we have to ask ourselves. Would Daenerys sacrifice her own life to break the wheel? I believe so, and I believe this is why they focused on so much between Jon and Daenerys' conversations of Jon taking a knife to the heart. The prophecy requires 2 people though, 2 people that are in love, and I believe Jon and Daenerys are the Song of Ice and Fire, the 2 characters that balance out this equation. And I do believe that Jon becomes king in the end, something that Daenerys always wanted. It's going to be interesting to see how Daenerys would actually be the main turning point in defeating the Night King, switching her real destiny with Jon's, which has been mainly focused on killing the Night King. It's possible that this scenario is wrong, which is why we are going to take a look at scenario number 2. Scenario number 2. Jon and Daenerys both die and their child is the one we see on the throne, or as the version of the ruler with a king or queen region until they come of age. I actually believe that this person will be Sansa Stark, and I believe there's a great possibility of her becoming queen with Tyrion as king regent by her side, and I do believe, because both of them have their love for Jon and Daenerys, would take on the task of instilling the vision they both had for the realm, the Dream of Spring. I do believe we will get some sort of flash forward type of event, whether this is the thing that happens or not, giving us the glimmer of hope after all the destruction and the war. And some of you may say Sansa, but yeah, Sansa, after what Jon did for her, after she realized what is important in her life, family, she would most definitely groom that child and teach him or her all the lessons that she learned the hard way on her journey in the Song of Ice and Fire. And scenario number 3, the White Walkers win, sort of, quotation marks, and Bran becomes the Night King. I actually think that the Night King at this current moment is the original Three-Eyed Raven, and I also think that he is a Stark, possibly Bran the Builder. And there will come a point where Bran will realize that he will have to take over the army of the dead and lead them into the lands of Always Winter with the help of Jon. Of course, together, they would have to defeat the Night King somehow, and I believe it is possible they figure out how when Bran is taken to the Isle of Faces with Howland Reed. It's possible that they do retreat to the Isle of Faces after the White Walkers and the Night King breach the North and destroy most of the North. This would be the other ending they would film, I think. I don't think it's likely where the cycle repeats itself again. I do know that George likes to subvert tropes, but he is a classical storyteller, so I don't think that we're going to see the same thing go over again in this story. I do think things will change, but I do think the 3 scenarios I laid out with Jon becoming king and Daenerys dying, both of them dying and their child being on the throne or a ruler, and Bran becoming the Night King are the 3 endings we will see filmed to throw off the leakers and spoilery type of content. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and if you would like to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon for special early access to my videos and bonus content. Trust me, every dollar helps. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Stay hype.
Fuck the king.
How much for your little fam?